Hi, everybody. My name is Sue Ellen Pegg, and I have the pleasure to come to you as your keynote speaker today for this awesome day where you get to do all this career exploration. I'm so excited about the opportunities and options you're going to have. You have such an amazing chance to learn a lot of things today, which I know you've been learning a lot of things in the past 6 months and in the many years before that, but we're really excited that we can talk a little bit more about the next steps and how we can get you on the pathway to a job that you're going to love. So as I'm recording this, it has been a busy week where we've had events on campus. My primary job is recruitment for the College of Agricultural Sciences and Natural Resources. So I had an event last weekend. I've had some great campus visits. I've had a lot of late nights getting presentations together for upcoming events, but it's so much fun and I love what I do and I love getting to interact with students. And that's really what I want for each of you, is that you will find an opportunity to find a job that really gets you excited, that you can put in long hours, you can work weekends, you can do something that you really love because it doesn't really feel like work. I know that all of us in the last 6 months have had to reevaluate some of the jobs that we do and some of the things that are out there. I certainly, on my own, have learned some new skills in the last few weeks and months that I didn't have before, but you guys are poised for this, right? You have got it all. You know how to work all the technology. You're coming up with new ways to do things and new ideas. So you are in the perfect position at this time of your life for all the things that are going to happen in the future. I am always really excited to get to speak to such a great group of students because the world is ahead of you and you can do anything, right? There's always a few things that I like to bring up along that line. And I want to tell you a little bit about myself first, because I think this gives me a little tiny bit of credibility about why you should listen. I grew up in North Central Iowa in a farming community. So when I grew up, I felt that the only real positions, jobs that I knew people had, my dad was a farmer and I knew lots of farmers. So I thought that was definitely a good career path. My mom was a secretary, so I knew that was an outlet. And then I knew teachers from school. And then my aunt was a nurse. So teachers, nurse, secretaries, and then farmers. That was pretty much in the rural area where I grew up. Those were what our options were, right? And I didn't know college professors. I didn't know people who worked in banks even. So the opportunities that you have at this point in your life, you know a lot more than I did back in the ancient days about such things, but there's so many more things out there and I was very limited, and even you are probably somewhat limited by what you've seen around you. So that's why we do days like this. I took many different kind of curvy paths to get to the road that I'm at now. So I have worked in about every industry in the ag and natural resource world, which has allowed me to learn a little bit more about some things and to learn more about myself. I find that many students are pretty self-aware these days, and you know what you like and what you don't. But it took me a long time to realize that the job that I had working with plants, which I loved, but that didn't involve working with people, wasn't a good fit for me. And I suspect you guys have some pretty good ideas along those lines of what works for you and what doesn't. But that's one of the steps really that I want you to think about as we move forward with this day, and to be open to opportunities, because you're never quite sure what's going to be the best fit for you. But also be aware of the things that you like. What do you like to do? Do you want to be outdoors? Do you want to work indoors? Do you want to work with people? I didn't really realize how much I needed people, but I did. Plants, animals, computers, kids. Where do you fit in the world, right? What is something that really makes you excited? What is something that you're really good at? So kind of keep those things in mind, because that certainly has helped me along the road to find a job that brought all those interests together. The other part is to be okay to try something different. I worked as a veterinary technician at a vet hospital. I have worked in alternative crops where I grew milkweed instead of a normal cash crop. And then I spent a lot of time weeding. I have worked with recycling. I've done a little bit of everything, and all those jobs have helped me come to the point I am now. But if I hadn't tried some of them, I wouldn't know. So take advantage, even though you kind of have it, even if you do kind of have an idea of where you want to go, don't close yourself in too long so you don't miss an opportunity that might be really awesome and might be out there for you. So that's always something else I like to remind you to think about. I also want to remind you about how far we've come, right? So I am considerably older than you by a whole lot. And in the days when I was doing my career exploration, we had these things, they were called encyclopedias. And because I'm filming from home, I should probably get one out because I still have a set, but they're massive books, right? And you had to leaf through them and figure out where you could find the information that you wanted about whatever opportunity was out there. Was this current information? Not really. Even if your parents bought you a new set every couple of years, it took a long time to get those together. Now you have these wonderful things called phones. They're computers in your pocket. You can find out anything about any job at any time. So we've come a long ways in my lifetime, right? And how much farther are we going to come in yours? And you guys are perfectly poised. You can look up an answer to a question right away. You know so much more than we did, certainly when I was your age, but still even than I do now, because you can find it all really fast. So take advantage of those opportunities. If you learn about an opportunity that sounds cool, what jobs could I have working with zebras? There's probably more than just a couple that are out there. You can do some research on them, watch videos about people who have those jobs, see what is required to reach that step. I highly encourage you to do that. Other thing that I always like to bring up when I give these talks is don't be afraid to talk to people like me. It could be someone in your community, it could be a counselor, a teacher, someone who works for Nebraska Extension. It could just be a family friend. It could be somebody that you see when you go to the bank and you're curious about their job. Ask them how they got there. Ask them how they got that position, how much schooling was required, what they like about their job, what they don't like about their job, right? What are the things that make them happy? What do they wish they could change or that they don't want to do too much of? These are all things that you can kind of internally take in and kind of get a little better feel for those opportunities, maybe job shadow a little too. There's some pretty cool options out there, but you will find even in the time of COVID, when we're all staying a little farther apart and wearing masks most of the time, that people really like to share about themselves, and not just to share about ourselves because we feel like we are helping you to make better decisions than we made. So we are happy to share information. Talk to a friend's parent about a job they have that sounds cool. Don't be afraid to ask those questions, and don't be afraid to look in your immediate circle as well. I always find it interesting when we've had nieces and nephews in my family that have gone into jobs that we could have helped them along the way, right? So don't be afraid to ask people you know and to make some of those connections as well. And now is really your time. You have taken a few years of classes, but you still have a chance to really impact what your future looks like by taking advantage of days like today when you learn about more cool things, by doing well in the courses that you take in school. You're not so far ahead yet that you can't make right any classes, maybe grades that are a little lower than you want. Put a little more effort in. You can do it, you guys. You've got all the skills. And a lot of times now we're even having great taped videos that we can watch. So keep that in mind. I was also going to encourage you to really take advantage of the chances you have now to talk to people, but also to start maybe visiting a couple campuses. We always really like to help students connect with people who have jobs that they might be interested in. So, if you're looking at college, if you're looking at a 4-year, a 2-year, whatever direction you might want to be going, we can help you make those connections as well to get you where you want to be. The other thing that I really like to encourage students at this age to do is just take advantage of those opportunities. Be involved in clubs and opportunities. Put a little foot forward in your community by community service. Everybody that you know knows somebody else, right? And it could be that perfect someone that's going to get you where you want to go. Don't burn any of those bridges by maybe getting a part-time job for them and them never showing up, because it's not going to matter. Take advantage of those opportunities, whatever the position, to do a good job, because that's going to lead to somebody down the road. I will tell you, in my 16 plus years in Nebraska, I'm not a Nebraska native, as I said, but in my 16 plus years in Nebraska, someone in Nebraska knows someone else you know. And I'd love nothing more than be sitting with a family at a visit and being able to share more. And then we're starting to talk, and all of a sudden we find out that we know people in common. Take advantage of those, right? But also use it in your favor. Make sure that you're being a great citizen so that they can promote you and share about the great work ethic that you all have. So take advantage of all those people around you to help reach those milestones. We are all here to help you succeed. And that's the part I really want you to take away. Take advantage of these opportunities, make the best of them, and then don't be afraid to ask for help. We are all happy to help you succeed, and we want nothing but the best for you. So you guys can do this. Even in this new world, you guys are amazingly adapted to all the changes that are coming ahead, and you are going to be the innovators for our future. We're all here to help you, so just let us know how. I wish you all the best. I hope to see you around Nebraska very soon. Hopefully they'll let us out, and wishing you the best, and come see me on campus and other campuses anytime. Thanks so much, and I hope you have a most wonderful time today. Thanks.